Hello everyone, my name is Erin and welcome back to my channel on finding your path to your best physical and emotional health. Remember, if you like what you hear, feel free to subscribe and share this information with anybody that you think might find it helpful. And let's get started. So today's topic, I'm kind of excited to start this journey on weight and the way we think about our body image and how to change our eating habits, because this is kind of near and dear to my heart. I actually do a lot of pre-surgical screenings and evaluate people for bariatric surgeries, and so I look a lot at people's eating habits and how they think about themselves and their ability to make changes. So I've kind of started to really kind of embrace how people struggle with this idea of what they can and cannot do with their food and how it affects their overall body. And I am constantly surprised at the lack of information out there, or the lack of knowledge that many of these people have about the way food affects their body and the way they view themselves and their behaviors, and how all of those things matter in order to actually have sustained weight loss and good overall health. And of course, if you have good overall health in your physical body, you're going to have better overall mental health, because you'll have less depression, less anxiety, and all of those kinds of things. And you'll handle the ups and downs of life a lot better. So that's how I kind of got started on this journey also, because my family, I have a family history of obesity and diabetes. And as I got older and the weight started to creep on, I was like, oh, I don't want to be like this, and I don't want to end up with this genetic downfall that we kind of have. And so I wanted to really learn about my own habits that I developed since a kid and that I was passed down through my family. Please don't say don't like mom, but to just kind of understand how those things affected me as a person now today, and how I could develop into changing those habits and becoming different and understanding myself a little bit different, not only from the biological perspective, but also the emotional perspective. So with that being said, we're going to have to get into several videos to kind of get everything into a little bit more in depth, but I want to go over some topics today that actually will help you understand the things that you need to change when you're starting a weight loss journey. Whether you're going for a bariatric surgery or you're just trying to get healthier, these things are important and often overlooked. So the very first thing that you have to do is figure out your personal why. Why do you want to do this? Because that matters. A lot of people want to just get healthy, which is fine. Then you're not worried about the weight number. A lot of people want to eliminate some disease, whether that be diabetes or high blood pressure or thyroid disorders or whatever. The other things people will often do is want to lose weight for somebody else. That can be a little bit of an issue. So for sustainability. So anyway, those are the kinds of things you need to start figuring out. What is your why? Why do you really want to change your weight? And sometimes that takes a deep look into kind of what's going on underneath. The other thing that's really, really important is understanding your body chemistry. We don't teach enough of this, and if you're not really interested in chemistry or biochemistry and the way your body works, you might not necessarily know how important your thyroid is, how your cholesterol levels, your blood glucose, and your insulin, all of those things. Your doctor may talk about those, but you may not really understand how they impact your body and how they all interact. And if those problems in those areas are not addressed, and you're not paying attention to them or helping your doctor pay attention to them early on, you can have difficulties correcting those issues. That was one of the things that I was looking at in my own family, was that you don't want to get to diabetes. We don't want to treat diabetes, we want to prevent it. So type 2 diabetes can be prevented through diet and lifestyle, but we're not taught that, and we're not catching it early enough, and we're letting it progress until it's a problem. The other thing that you need to look at is this truly a diet issue or other lifestyle issues that you may need to address? Those things are important to figure out, because we often have a lot of other things that contribute to weight gain. Smoking, drinking, drug use, all those kinds of things will interact and cause other issues, as well as just being sedentary. We tend to be a lot more sedentary than we used to be. And when we're sedentary and just not just, and I'm not saying you have to exercise, all intensely all the time, even though there's plenty of videos out there to help with that. You need to be able to just move a lot more than we tend to. We tend to sit in front of the TV entirely too much these days, or a computer, so we need to be able to move a lot more. And that can be an issue for a lot of people. The other things that we need to look at is figuring out what our thoughts and beliefs are around food. Sometimes people were brought up with these ideas that you have to clean your plate, and there's poor starving children in Africa, and all of those things that will affect our ability to lose weight and affect the way we eat and how we make choices. So we're going to go look at that a little bit more in depth, and I'll share some of the things that I discovered about my own upbringing. Another thing to deal with is emotional triggers, not just emotional, but interpersonal. We'll probably break that down a little bit more in depth in each one, because the interpersonal triggers can often cause emotional triggers. So there's all kinds of research out there that I'll share with you about food and how it kind of helps us create those feel-good chemicals. So we will tend to use them as a self-soothing mechanism, and that's pretty common in a lot of people and in a lot of families. So you have to kind of figure out what your emotional triggers are and why you want to eat and feed those, and then deal with them a different way. But that takes a little bit of work to figure out, okay, what is your sensitivities and what your kind of emotional process is, and kind of get a little bit more self-awareness, which can be a challenge sometimes, because we live in this fast-paced world where we can't slow down and feel who we are and who we need to be, and it takes a little bit of mindfulness and stuff like that, and we will talk a little bit more about that in depth as we kind of go through this program a little bit. So that's kind of my summary on kind of what I want to talk about in my next few videos. And I just wanted to kind of give you a brief overview, and we'll kind of work on that in more depth. So please ask questions, so as I make these videos I can get more specific for you. But I'm kind of excited to bring this to you to help people kind of move forward in their journey to better health. So again, if you're interested in a consultation and kind of some coaching towards making some of those changes, please connect with me on my website. I'll be more than happy to do that for you. Please let me know if you have anything else you want me to go over, and that would be great as well. Also, don't forget to subscribe to see the next videos that are coming up. Thank you so much, and have a great day.